2015 and newer Subaru WRX turbo bypass upgrade. I'm going to walk you step by step through the process of installing the Boomba Racing turbo bypass valve. I'm Brian Eslick from How to Automotive, and stay tuned for that. So this is the turbo recirculating bypass valve from Boomba Racing that we're going to be installing. It's made out of aircraft quality aluminum. Inside it has a brass valve. It's designed to hold up to 70 pounds of pressure, which means it's not going to leak under heavy boost. There's no tuning needed with this modification. You just bolt it right up and you can gain upwards of 10 to 15 horsepower. So we're going to get right to installing this. The first thing we need to do is get the vehicle up in the air. If you're doing this at home, use floor jack and jack stand and jack the front of the vehicle up as high as you can get it. You're going to crawl under here and you're going to remove all the under shields. On this vehicle, they were already taken off. So you're just going to follow around the perimeter of the shield, and there's going to be clips and screws that you're going to remove, and then the plastic shield will come down. After that, we're going to remove the skid plate here by removing the 4 bolts here at the corners, and this skid plate will come down. To remove the skid plate, I just used a cordless impact gun and a 12mm socket and removed the 4 bolts. So in the description of the video, I will link up all the parts and the tools that I'm using to make this job easy for you guys. So once you get the skid plate down, right here is going to be the bypass valve that we're replacing. So we're going to take off this air boot here and we're going to push it back towards this back here and just tuck it out of our way. So you're going to loosen up the clamp. So once you get the clamp loosened up, you're just going to pull the boot off. And once you get the boot pulled off, you're just going to tuck it backwards like this out of your way. Next, you're going to need a pair of pliers, and we're going to take these hose clamps holding the inlet hoses on. So you'll squeeze the clamps and slide them upwards. Once you get the clamps removed, then you can push the hoses off or slide the hoses off, the 2 hoses right here. They're different sizes, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. So you just pull the 2 hoses off. And once you get these hoses off, you can just tuck them up out of your way. Now you're going to need an extension and a 10mm socket, and we're going to remove the 2 10mm bolts holding the main inlet here on. So you're going to remove these 2 bolts. Like I said, so there's plenty of room to get power tools in here. I'm using a Milwaukee M12 1/4-inch drive ratchet here to remove these fasteners. This whole installation is really simple, and you can do it all with hand tools, but I like to use power tools to make jobs like this much quicker and faster for me. If you notice here, I used a magnet to retrieve the bolts from up here. Now that you got the unit unbolted, we need to get this clamp here and squeeze it. And then as we squeeze this clamp, we're going to pull the unit downwards and off. So you can see here, I use a pair of pliers and I squeeze the clamp. And if the clamp is not in the best position, you can usually just take your fingers and slide the clamp around. So I had to slide the clamp in a better position right here. And then I can put my pliers on there, squeeze the clamp. Now I'm going to pull the main unit down like this, and it'll pop off the hose. Now you can go ahead and unplug the electrical connector and the other vacuum line going to it. And then you can take the whole unit off and set aside on your bench. And if you look at all the lines, they're pretty self-explanatory how they all route and go. So we're going to go ahead and pop this hose off and set it aside. So right here is the factory valve that we're replacing. We're going to pop the vacuum hose off. As you can see, it's made out of plastic and it's much cheaper. You can go ahead and loosen up the hose clamp here, and then we're going to pull the valve off completely. To get to the hose clamp, I just used a flex head ratcheting wrench. Make quick work of this. Once the clamp is loose, you can just pull the valve off. Now that we got the factory valve off, we're going to install the new valve. If you look, I put the vacuum hose extension that came in the kit already on there. So you're going to press the new valve into place. So you just push it on. You want the other end pointing straight down towards you like this. Once you got it pressed on there, then you can go ahead and hook up the vacuum hose to the original one. And then you can tighten up the clamp here. So I got the bypass valve hose clamp tightened back up, and I also got the vacuum line coming off the new Boomba Racing valve plugged in. So it comes with this extension here, so you're just going to route it up there, grab the original line and plug it into the original line up top. So the instructions want us to modify the outlet tube here. So we need to cut about 3/16 of an inch off here. So I'm just going to use a razor blade. And if you look here about what you need to cut off, so it's about this much, about 5 millimeters here. And you're going to make an incision and just cut off this little bit of excess. Is to make room for the new part. The part's a little bit bigger than the original one, so we need to cut this off. So using this razor blade makes it pretty easy. So you're just going to cut the 5 millimeter piece off like this, and now we're ready to reinstall it. So the first thing I'm going to do is put the vacuum hose back onto the vacuum switch here, and then plug the electrical connector into the vacuum switch. Once I got those plugged back in, I'm going to line it up with the bypass valve, and then I'm going to take a pair of pliers and reach around and squeeze the clamp. Then slide it on and then re-secure the clamp in the best position that holds it. At this time, you can now go ahead and plug in the two remaining vacuum lines. There are two different sizes, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. Go ahead and plug those in. And after we get those plugged in, then we're going to take the two 10mm bolts and bolt it back up. So line everything up. You're going to start the bolt and just leave it loose here. Once you get this one started, it makes it easier to start the back one with a little slack in it. Once you got both of them started, then you can run them in and tighten them up. If you look here, I'm using my power tool to run it in and tighten it up, but I'm not actually tightening up with the tool. I'm just running them in until it's snug, and then I switch over to a hand ratchet, and then I do the final tightening with the ratchet. So I'm just using a 1/4-inch ratchet here, getting them snug, and then about a 1/4 turn more. These are all made out of plastic parts here. You don't want to overdo it here. You can crack them. Now we can take our inlet pipe here and make sure the hose clamp is on there, install it back on, and then tighten this clamp back up. Once you get the boot resecured and the clamp tightened up, you give it a little tug to make sure it doesn't pop back off. And then you're going to install the lower skid plate with the 4 12mm bolts. Once you get the skid plate installed, then you can put the plastic shield underneath and you're ready for a test drive. I will link up all the parts and tools that I use in this video in the description. I'm Brian Essa from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching my videos, encourage you to subscribe, invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. Thank you again for watching.